show you how to make one of these little bags, just in case you fancy the idea. I think they're absolutely brilliant, personally. Anyway, it's absolutely simplicity itself, because all you're going to need is one long strip of fabric and another long strip of fabric to match. You're going to sew the two together in one long strip, turn them inside out, and then you're going to fold the sections over and make them into a little wallet, which will have that little flap, and you'll have all the little sections to fit your pieces in, and you're only going to hand sew small sections at a time. Really, really simple. Much of a stitch length here, because it's not got to be a really durable seam. And then you're going to sew When you've sewn all the way around the outside of the unit and turned it inside out, so you've now got a nice seam, you need to turn in that gap at the bottom. The next thing you're going to need, after you've done the ironing and you've got it all ready for assembly into its sections, you go back to your template or measure off. You're going to measure off the 3.5 inches for the front flap. Then you're going to measure 2 inches, which comes to the top of the first fold, another 2 inches, which brings it to the bottom of the fold, 2.25 inches up to the top of the next fold, 2.25 inches down to the bottom of that fold, 2.75 inches to the top of the next fold, 2.75 inches to the bottom of that next fold. And that's all the marks that you actually need to make. You look at the markings that you've got from your template or from measuring from the pattern, and you're going to choose which are the points that fold up, or rather fold down, fold up or down from the top, and you find that mark and fold it over, keeping it absolutely at right angles with the rest of the fabric that you've sewn. When you found the first fold, you iron it so that you can see that seam. The next seam point that you're going to need, or the fold point, is at the top is going to be this one. Again, you do just like you did before. You make sure that it's perfectly squared off so it's all aligned with the rest of the bag. When it is, you iron that one in place. Now you can see how it's beginning to take shape, and then that will be a nice finishing touch for the tops of each section is to just give them a little tiny stitch across the top. To make the needle case, I have a piece of fleece that's just been left over from another project. So I'm just going to square up a section or two. I don't need to have it very wide. If you just want one flap over, that will do. If you want 3 pieces, just cut another section and either hand stitch or machine stitch just that little edge and leave it loose in your bag, or attach it to the lid of the bag. I'm just going to attach mine now to the lid of the bag. I can see where all my folds are going to come now. I can see where it's going to be most convenient for me to put my piece of fabric for my pins, so I'm going to just keep that in place and then stitch along the top. You can see that on the front, and that's all now sewn in onto the bag.